everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of the iConis podcast. Wow, we're still going after all this time, and it's exciting. I know I say that every episode, but here we are. As you know, I am Barry 3D for Deep, Dark, Delicious. Hey. And on my side, the man, the myth, the legend, the one that's got you dancing all night long, all night. Chicka, 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 chicka. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, love. Yes. My cousin, my best friend, the one and only
Rod C. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another episode. We got something for you. But man earth maketh the man. You know, we got a couple stuff to do. What do we got to do, Barry? What do we have to do?
We got to give it back. We got to shout it out and give it back, right? So first and foremost, we got to shout it out. As I said, if you want to find where I'm going to be doing a comedy live or anything with this show, you follow my website, barry3d.com. It's very simple as that. If you want to catch the guys that I roll with, that's a touch of gray matter, which is myself, Dave Sokolowski, Zolf Ali. Can't go wrong. There we go. If you're new to comics or in comics, want to restart your comic book collection, then here's a couple of places you can go because they support the show. So for our friends out in Kitchener, please go out to Wild Comics with Wes and the guys and tell them we said hi. For those out in Cambridge, go to A Hero's Tale and tell Andrew and the rest of the guys we said hi. And for those out in Montreal, please go and check out Check Swings on the South Shore and tell Trevor and the rest of the guys we said hi. Manners maketh the man. All right. On top of that, we are part of the Subculture Podcast Network. So it is our show with 5 other shows. We've got some stuff and, coming up, and we're going to be doing a lot of collabs with them in the near future. Can't go wrong with them. So there's the brass tacks of what we got going on. Let's see here. Rod, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me, as I say, on the World Wide Web. You can find me on the world of Instagram and Mr. Rod C. That's MRRODC. You'll find me in the world of Twitch, twitch.tv/DJ Rod C. And if you want to find me on the world of TikTok, you can find me on DJ Rod C1. That's DJ Rod C1. There you go. Oh, yeah.
Excellent. On top of that, we also, if you want to do a podcast, then you can use what we use, and that is podbean.com. So you can go to iconis.podbean.com to find all our episodes, this one and every other one we put up there. That's the app to use, and trust me, you can't go wrong. But you get the price and building a library for your followers, and that puts it on all streaming platforms so people can either hear or watch it. And don't forget, we've got our YouTube channel that you're probably seeing this on right now. So that's it's YouTube /iConis podcast. You'll see all the videos, backlog of videos, shorts, toy unboxings that we've done, and more to come because I've seen the new wave of McFarlane toys. McFarlane toys are coming, and I'm looking to get my hands on the Brainiac and Blue Beetle combo sets. Those are the ones I'm really looking to get. Yeah, the ships. And so hopefully I get those. I'll do another unboxing, hopefully in the very near future. I like doing those. Okay. Right. And if you want to do what we're doing and you need a graphic artist, or for anything, for any of your business needs or fun, and you need a graphic artist, there's only one man and one man alone you should have. And that man is the one and only
J Bird Digital Art.
Mr. Jason Reese, J Bird Digital Arts. You reach out to him. You tell him you heard about him on the iConis podcast, and he will give you a discount on all the work, right? So let's try it again. He will give you a discount on all the work that you need. All right. Hit our man Jay up, and he will hook you up.
All right.
On that note, it brings us down to another episode for Black History Month. That is our theme. This is who we are, and we want to put that together in a positive light. I hope you like the past ones we've done so far. Here we go. And I'm the iConis podcast. The icon is
Prodigy.
That's right. Oh, Prodigy. Yes. Now, when we say Prodigy, I'm not talking about that kind of alternative rock group Prodigy. Smackmouth. Okay, Firestarter. Okay, yeah. We're not talking about them. They're music rock. Nice. Right?
Nice cut.
Firestarter. Okay, no, that's Ross. Okay, yeah. Prodigy. Okay, yeah. So there we go. It's just, hey, we're down with music. I'm a dancer. He's a DJ. Come on now.
Come on,
Come on
son.
now. Come on, son. Come on, son. So Prodigy is more of a more recent product, and it was Prodigy is a hero. He's let's just go with it. So Prodigy was created back in December of 2018. He's when he made his first appearance under the Image Comics, ran for 6 issues, miniseries. So what Prodigy has is he has first run is 6 issue miniseries, second run is a 5 issue miniseries, and then he shows up again, this character, in the big game, right? Which is another 5 issue miniseries. This character was created by the marvelous madman, Mark Millar. If you don't, if the name sounds familiar to some of you, okay, fine. Let's go through a little bit of Mark Millar's works here that you've either read or watched. If you've watched, let's put it this way, here we go deep. If you watch Kick-Ass, that was Mark Millar. If you watched Wanted, that was Mark Millar. Now, hopefully you read the book Wanted, because the book is different. If you look at the cover of the book, he actually drew or had his artist, reference and made the character look like Eminem the rapper instead of James McAvoy, who played him, right? Awesome. But still, there we go. Okay, so we got Kick-Ass, we got Wanted, we got Super Crooks was on Netflix, we've got Jupiter's Legacy, which was on Netflix live action. And there's also books about all these properties, right? Who am missing? The Magic Order, that's another one. Nick Fury. Now, before you say Barry, no, Nick Fury was Marvel Comics. When Marvel turned around and made its offshoot line called the Ultimates. So they had the Ultimate Spider-Man, the Ultimates, which was the Avengers.
Comics.
The Ultimate Comic, exactly. That first run, they drew Nick Fury as Samuel L. Jackson. Henceforth, Sam's people turned around and said, "Hey, did you realize that Marvel's putting you in a comic book? Did they ask you permission?" He was like, "Nope." And their logic was better to ask, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. So that's when Sam's people contacted Marvel, and then Marvel turned around and said, "Hey, we understand you want to be compensated for it. You understand you be a little bit miffed on it. Can we make a deal?" Sam said, "What's the deal?" He said, "Hey, we're working on this project. If it works out, this could be huge for your pocketbook." Sure enough, that's how Samuel L. Jackson became Nick Fury in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that's why he showed up in Iron Man, and it's still there today. He starred in all those movies. So he owes
think you're the only one. Yep. Samuel L. Jackson turn around and say the iconic words. You think you're the only one, Tony Stark? Oh my gosh. And welcome, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. He's done other books called The Chrononauts. He's done Hulk, which is another character he's done. Superior, I think it is, that he's done. It goes
Nemesis.
On.
Yep. We did
Nemesis. Yes, which we've covered on this show.
Right. Yep.
With Dave Sokolowski. Okay. So, another one I really enjoyed was RPM. The list goes on. So if you look up Mark Millar, you can find him. You'll find Millar World. Wait, and now once again, it's not Millar World where everyone's going drinking and it's like Disneyland. No. Millar World is all the books that he's put together.
Wow. Exciting.
Wow. And this is amazing. And he turned around, and the big game is his first ever crossover event, and he took characters from each of his series, and they all literally, it was like Crisis of Infinite Earths. It was all his characters, heroes and villains, showed up in this 5 issue series. Hit Girl, who was part of Kick-Ass, and went on whatever it is mission to save the Earth. Wow. Many years coming, many more to go. Look, he's done American Jesus. So I know I'm forgetting a lot of projects. So Prodigy was a part of the big game. Yeah. So cool. So as I said, character came to light in December of 2018 under the Image comic brand. And wow, that's all I got to say. So it was written by Mark Millar. The artist was Raphael Albuquerque for Volume 1. Matt Baffangi, forgive my pronunciation.
Baffangi.
Baffangi, thank you very much, for Volume 2. And Pepe Lazarus, for the big game. Loved all the art. It's great. The thing is, Mark is very proud, and rightfully so, that he's even said that anyone that works with me makes money. So if you work with him, you making money. You getting like some really good money to be artists, inkers, stuff like that. He's building this up as his own Well, he's not. He has built this up as his own company, even though he's distributing under Image, and doing independently. He's got also a deal with Netflix for all these properties. I like the hustle. I like the hustle. Okay. Bottom line, also, Samuel L. Jackson should send him a gift basket. So, what is Prodigy all about? So, Prodigy, well, first of all, he's not a superhero per se in the sense that he runs around in superhero tights, whatever. No, he is the world's smartest man who happens to be black with green eyes, and he loves solving mysteries.
Yeah.
So that's the look of the character. He's got a nice, he's got a look. He has like a very average build. He's not overly muscular. He's got an average build. He's always been intelligent from young, and we'll get into that. But it reminds me, it gives me feels of Buckaroo Banzai.
Okay.
Right? If you watch Buckaroo Banzai back in the days in the 80s, with Peter Weller, it gives me that kind of feel. So that's how I interpret it. Maybe he's a fan of him. Mark Millar is a fan of him or not. That I don't know, but that's how, I interpret it. So the first run of the series was called The Evil Earth. Bum, bum, bum. And you're seeing there the main character, Prodigy, who is Edison Crane, sitting in a chair in front of a blackboard. So it looks like he's in front of a classroom in a nice, well suit, you know what I mean? With a machine gun and a book in the other hand. There you go. So, yeah, Kingsman. Kingsman is another.
Yep.
Okay.
Mark
all right, then.
Millar.
Eggsy.
Production.
Right?
Excellent.
So, this is where we're going. So we're going to get into it. So wait, as I said, Edison Crane, 2018. Here we go. Starts off, and this is what we were talking about today. I think this guy is a positive role model. It's a whirlwind tale of him going from city to city, doing all these things, and he's like a multitasker because he thrives on two things: solving mysteries, always solving mysteries, and risk. He likes putting himself in danger to figure certain things out. He's pretty much an adrenaline junkie.
100%. Good answer. He likes the foray of just, if there's an inkling, if there's a 1% chance of something getting completely done, 99, it's not going to happen. You're not going to make it. 1%, like, I'm taking the 1%. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. You're not going to survive. Don't worry about it. I'm going to figure it out. Bet on black. That's basically what he should have a shirt. That's what his shirt is saying. Bet on black. I'm just saying. But hilarious. Just saying.
Very hilarious. So we're gonna get to it. So Rob, what do you think when you started reading this series? Like overall, what was your feeling on this whole thing?
So
is this the first time you read it? Is this the first time you read this?
It is the first time I read it. Now I've come across this name before. I've looked at it, but I've never read it. Like, I knew of Prodigy. Mm-hmm. I knew of that character in a sense. Like, it was one of those, I've heard it before, because it's Image. I never come across it too often. I think that's the reason why it was like there in the back, like the mental back shelf, like the name sound familiar. So even as a side note, when Barry was saying we're gonna do Prodigy, and I'm like, and he's telling me, and I'm like, it sounds familiar. I honestly was like saying that until I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing the cover. So Prodigy is a very great character. Now I'm pulling in different similarities. When you go through it, you start to realize this guy has the confidence of like a Don. Like nothing seems to faze this guy at all. At all. He's surrounded by people with guns about to shoot him out. Yeah. The mental vision of what he wants to do. And that's like second, third, fifth dairy. If that's even a word. Not even secondary. Like fifth dairy. That's sixth dairy. It's there. But I'm not thinking about that. You realize how his mind works. You start to get into that, and we'll get into that. And it's just very, wow. Never heard of any character, any IP of anyone being so precise, meticulous, and strategy, like all at the same time. that when you start to read, when you read the book, you'll see what I'm talking about. And he's just a guy who's very confident in himself, and that's the main thing you take back. He's an individual who is very confident in what he can do, and he really feels that give him the time. He gives me the mental idea of I thought of it 18. Bear with me. Like for the TV show, when not TV show, in the movie, when Hannibal was like saying, "Hey, how'd you get these documents? Listen, give me an hour, I'm good. Give me a day, I'm great. Give me like a week, I'm unstoppable." It's the confidence this guy walks in, and he's just like, "I know what I'm doing. Even if you don't think I know what I'm doing, trust me, I know what I'm doing." That is just like high bars. That's great. So yeah, I like Edison for that. I like Prodigy for that. We'll get into more aspect of it, but I'll just say it's a great character. It's a great character.
Hey, look, we'll break it down. So when you get issue number 1, you open that first page. First of all, you see a young kid. He's playing polo, right? And he's playing polo with, young adults. So we'll say that. So he's got to be maybe like, 10, something like that, and 12 years old. And he's playing with
11,
yep. Yeah, 11. And he's playing with I guess people, or it could be like 18 or something like that. And they're playing polo. Okay, no mistake there. You look at it, you say, all right, fine. Right away, you realize that he scores the winning shot. Everyone sees him as the hero in the stands. They hold him up. They're all happy, this, and that. That's great. He goes and he's walking away, very confident. And he walks into the changing room. He sees one of his teammates is like, "Hey, we want to talk to you." And all you see is the door close and click. And he's like, "What?" Right? Now, keep in mind, he's like 11. And it's like, the rest of the team, the other 3 guys, is like, "Well, you embarrassed us on the field today. You made us look like we're incompetent. We don't like that." So they turn around and just start beating the crap out of him. Beating the crap out of him. He's 11. Like, okay, he's got skills.
Right.
That's jealousy. Issue. That's right. Page 1. So when you see him the next page, his friend comes up to him, and his friend's like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's got like, a black eye and band-aids and stuff. And he's sitting down very calmly watching TV. And his buddy's talking to him. And he's like, "Hey, man, what's going on? Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'll be fine by tomorrow." I was like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, and he's watching Bruce Lee movies. He's watching like Fist of Fury,
Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Chang Li, China Li. He's basically saying, I'm a fast learner. I learn faster than anyone who's ever lived. And there's nothing I can't do when I put my mind to it." As soon as I read that, I'm like, this could be a problem. Oh, I like this guy. Oh, I like this kid. Oh, what's gonna be next?
This page, he walks back to school. He calls up the guy. The guy's name's Tinker. He's like, "Tinker." And Tinker and the other 2 guys are there. They're like, "Oh, what? Did we miss a spot, a-hole? Ha, 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 ha." And he goes, "Yeah, about that." And he breaks out a roundhouse kick and sends one of them flying. What I'm trying to say, Prodigy, for half a second there, became Taskmaster. Taskmaster for Marvel Comics, where he sees you do it, he can do it. That's exactly what he did.
Good pull. Good deep pull. There's reference number 1. I didn't even think of it from that end.
Right. Like, and he beats the crap out of all 3 of them. So he beats the crap out of the 2 flunkies. We'll call him that. And he leaves the main guy who started the whole thing, Tinker, to the very end. And he's like, "What are you doing, man? We can talk about it." He goes, "No, there's no talking about this after today. These are things that happen in life where, you end up getting bullied, and it's just a life lesson. I know I'm going to get expelled, but before I pack my things..."
Officer down.
He kicked that boy right through the window. His friends show up in the background and like, "What's going on?" He goes, "I'm going to be expelled, but it's a life lesson. I had to learn it." Yeah. "Okay, see you guys later."
Let me go pack my things. Calmly.
He knew right away what was going to happen. Fighting on school grounds. Right. So he went through a bullying situation. Fighting on school grounds was going to get him expelled. He wasn't even going to argue it. He said, "Hey, it's a life lesson." He knows kids get bullied. I'm sure his parents talked to him saying, "You're in a school where people are going to be jealous of your talents and gifts. Be prepared for it." And he didn't go crying to nobody. He just literally went home, turned on the TV, found every martial artist of renowned reputation, copied their moves, and went back 24 hours and gave 5 across the eyes.
Hilarious. Hilarious. We're not condoning violence, but just the fact that he's like saying, okay, if this is what you guys gonna do, all right. I'll be right back. And he knew, and the thing I look at it is like he knew I do not currently have the resources or the skill set to address this problem. I'll be back in 24 hours.
Seriously.
I'll be back in 24 hours.
Right.
That's what I took away when you go back and look at it. You'll realizing if he had the skills beforehand, he would have done it. He would have handled himself at that time. It just shows that he never thought to be prepared for any type of fighting, because he fortunately got a beat down, and it shows in that panel he got a beat down. Like, it didn't show like he had any. He didn't resist. He didn't resist. He didn't do no type of rebuttal. He didn't try to fight back or nothing. It just showed that he just took. Unfortunately, all he could do is take the beating.
The lumps.
I'll be back. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Right. Now, when you read further into the series and you kind of flash back to this moment, you realize that he analyzed the situation, realized that he had there's nothing he can do about it. He was already planning out how to deal with it the next day. So it's like,
100%.
at the moment, I'll take my lumps. Protect the face. Pop, 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 pop. Okay, I'm not crying. Cool under pressure. Go home, watch some TV, or go back to his room, watch some TV. Whoops. Okay. I'm sure if he played Street Fighter, he would have found a way to throw a fireball. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It goes back to our other episode we just did a little while ago. Who bullies Robin? Right, Dick Grayson. Okay, we released that one. Robin's bullies, and that really speaks to it. Like, who would bully Dick Grayson? Now, if you remember that episode and you're watching this here is the answer. We asked the question there in DC. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mark Millar. You answered the question here of how we picture it, or how I picture it through image. All right, because that's how you say body frame at that time. All right, so now we go again, and what happens? We get little flashbacks with the character. So we get past this situation, and he's present day. But I'm going to deal more with his past before you get present, and kind of do it in chronological order. But the flashbacks are nice. So one of the flashbacks we saw is we get to learn about his mom. So when he was very young, his mom gave him building blocks. But he was very bright, so he's putting these building blocks together, and there's 3, and literally it's the blocks, and they say A, B, and C on it. She's teaching him his ABCs, but then again, I'm sure the mom was very smart, or she had to see something, or maybe hoping the child was smarter. Sometimes people look at their child and say, "Hey, my child's really good at this. My child's good at that." You can, when they're young, you can tell, hey, my child has a affinity for art, drawn to art. I should nurture that. I see they're really doing it more than maybe I would have at that age, at that level. Mm-hmm. You had to see something as a parent. That's all I'm going to say, right? So she turned around, gave him the 3 blocks, A, B, C, and she said, these should be, the foundation for your life. A, always, B, which is B, C, curious. Always be curious. He's like, live your life with ABC. Always be curious. And how she said it and how it was drawn, you can see his face light up. Like, he's just a toddler, and his face lit up when she said that. And that's something from his mom that has stuck with him through to his adult life, present day. Always be curious. That's how he lives his life. This is why he loves mysteries. So that's one part there. Another part, you see his mom, who's clearly darker skin, black. The father, and that's what I was trying to figure. When he's looking back, the father, I'm not sure if he was just light skinned. I don't think he was light. He was white. I really think the father.
No. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
He's lighter than the mom. When you look at the art of the mom and dad, right? When you look at the father is always drawn lighter. So it's either he's light skinned or the father is white. Like, even like the hair, how they draw him, his father's bald. Right. So, I'll take it that he's even though the character looks more black than white, right? I think he's mixed.
You could be right. Yeah.
Right. That that's how I was seeing it. And it's cool. So now the father is a senator. He's having dinner with another. So, let's say Edison's parents, Prodigy's parents, are having dinner with another couple. The other couple are saying that their son's going for an operation next week. He's very closed off because of what he has, so he doesn't make many friends, but him and Edison are hitting it off perfectly. This is great. Both parents are happy. Now that other person is running for president. He's going to run for president, and it seems that he wants to have Edison's dad running as like senator along with him or something along those lines with his presidency to endorse it. They go now, finish eating. They go now and say, "Hey, let's go and check on the boys." And they open the door where the boys are playing, and all you see is a young Edison with like a bandana over his mouth, rubber gloves, and he's standing over their kid who's on a little table, right? And he's got him opened up, and he's turned the TVs into monitors. He's got anesthesia that things he just found around the house to make a makeshift operating room to operate on their son to cure him. And of course you open this, all you see is like, okay, one kid got the other kid like cut open. It's almost like a horror movie. And once again, right. Edison full under pressure. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. I'm curing him of this. This here is a critical part of this procedure. Are you guys enjoying the lobster rolls?
Yeah. Well, you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure I left butter on there. It's nice and tasty, seasoned right.
He goes, I just need 10 more minutes and be up and going. And be better than you.
Now let me help you with the age aspect of it. This is basically not that far behind, or at least visually, it looks like Edison is still either 11 or 12. So he's in the same time bracket of the first initial incident with learning the ways of Shaolin and taking somebody out. So this could probably be a couple of months later. Who knows? But it was very close. So we at least will say that Edison is a young prodigy. He's like 11, 12. I'll be nice and give him like 13. Let's be nice and give him 13. Let's give him 2 years after that. Scared the helping, because all you see is this picture frame. Everybody's freaked out. The father, like the mother seems like surprised. The other three adults, holy to the little Batman, they're just losing their mind. Like, what am I seeing? What's going on? Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm taking care of him. Don't worry, your boy's going to be good. Just give me another 10 minutes. And this is a very critical point, and I appreciate if you guys don't so much. Can we just focus here?
Yeah, it was like a cardiac issue. It was a heart issue he was doing. He was like doing open heart surgery on this kid. Okay. Right? That's
hilarious.
That's what he's doing. As a parent, you open the door, expect them to be playing video games, expect them to be sitting there talking, reading comic books. No, one's literally operating on the other one at a young
blood all in his hands and his face.
And he's like, "Hey, can you guys just keep the volume down? This is a critical part here. I'm almost done. Don't worry. I mean, he'll be up and running in 10 minutes, right as rain. Better than you." Meaning he did a better operation at the house with this kid using household utensils than they would have done at the hospital that he was going at the week after. And my only thing is I wanted a follow-up from that kid. I wanted to know what happened to that kid after. Did they still keep the friendship or not? So that was a nice flashback, but I wanted to know, hey, this guy, I operated him. I saved his life. Now we're best friends. Here we are, present day. So that was one of the flashbacks. And then we get another one where he's a little bit older. So I'd say maybe late teens, right? Maybe a young man at this point. Now, you could tell there's some friction between him and his dad for how the scene plays down. So his dad walks in, he's reading a book, and he goes, "Edison, when are you going to grow up and start being more of a man? All you do is read your books and you chase mysteries." And he goes, "Dad, I'll stop chasing mysteries once there's no mysteries left to chase." And he's like, "Well, I'm not putting any more good money into you. Here's your inheritance." And he literally throws him like a silver dollar.
Yeah.
$1. He goes, "This is your inheritance. I'm not giving you any more money for anything in your life. Do with it as you will." Like he's just so at this point, we don't see the mom. Don't know if the mom is passed away. Don't know if the mom is still around, but it's him and his dad have this interaction very quick. Throws him $1. Dad saying, "I'm leaving none of my fortune," because the dad claims to be, obviously the parents are well off. "I'm leaving no money to you. Done. Here's $1. See you later." Before his dad even leaves the room, Edison turns around and says, "You know what? I'll take this $1 and in 1 year, I will have $1
A
billion.
billion. $1
Billion.
billion.
Not a million.
Gangster.
He goes, I will have $1 billion fortune in 1 year with this dollar.
Gangster.
I need this guy's financial advisor. I need him as my financial advisor.
I need him. You don't even. He is a financial advisor. That's what he is.
I'll give him $50. I'm generous. Yeah, if he can do $1 billion with $1, what can he do with 50? You know, I'd be a trillionaire. I'd be like that British pop group ABC, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Tell me, how to be a trillionaire. Yeah, I'm going back to my 80s. Yeah, well, I got moments, Rod. So this is all the things this guy is doing. He's part, I don't know, Doctor Strange, part Taskmaster, part
100%.
Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Just part Reed Richards, part Buckaroo Banzai. Okay.
Part Bruce Wayne. Part Bruce Wayne. What's some Bruce in there? Oh,
he got more money than Bruce, though, man. Bruce got money,
but... No, for sure. But I'm not going for the money aspect. That's a good aspect.
Yeah, you're just talking about character.
The character, just the. I'm focused. Like you can't shift my mind.
No,
that's Bruce Wayne.
Exactly. The difference is he ain't angry like Bruce Wayne. He looks at everything as black and white, and he gets it done. He loves solving mysteries. He's got that Indiana Jones bugging him, Tomb Raider bugging him. So here we go. So now when we come to the character present day, what's happening? The character is walking. He's walking with his assistant. He goes up on the top of a building. He gets there. He gets on top of a motorcycle. And she's mentioning something that's happening overseas, I think in Australia. And he's revving a motorcycle saying, oh yeah, I already solved this. Here's the answer to that problem. And then he's on top of a skyscraper and he pulls the Evil Knievel. He starts bike up.
That's the other one. That's the other one. So the first one is a canyon. So he's jumping over the canyon.
My mistake.
That's the canyon on flames. So I'll just say one quick thing prior to that, and this is to show you, I'm just going to say how to even add on to the complexity of Edison Kane. Yeah. Prior to that, you open up the scene, anything about history, we're going to bring it up to present time. He's basically in a big room type of scenario with a big screen, and basically there's a whole bunch of chess screens.
Yes, sorry.
Sections on there. But the reason why I want to say that part is because you basically start to understand at this point he's playing like multi-level type of chess with different people, and you can see on the other end people are stressing trying to figure it out, like from different people from walks of life, people from Russia, from Canada, the US, whatever the case to be. So he's playing the best of the best, top of the top tier chess players, and he's like, K. Someone's talking to him. Yeah. I got that figured out. 1 second. All right, everybody. Here's the next moves. And it was so sweet. He went down from like 1 to 7. And in this order, move this. You, we're going to come back to you. Good move, good block. I'll come back to you. And by him saying that, the first 6 people, he just checkmate them and just dunned them out. And he's like saying, okay, we're going to put a pause on you. I got something to do. Hold that. I'll be right back. Very important. I took that as, wow, this guy just basically knocked out 6 people in basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold on, I'll be right back. Gets up, walks out the door. Then he falls into where Barry is saying. He's walking with his assistant. He's putting on a helmet, and he's basically saying, okay, so, yeah, I've answered that question. I took care of that problem. Cool. All right, I'm ready for this this next event. Are you sure you want to do this? Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, the kids... Mental pause me. Kids. Yeah, so the kids want you to jump over the canyon, but they realize, it's just going to be too simple. So they want you to be on fire, and they basically changing the parameters. So it sounds like there is already an event where Edison basically, going back to what we said earlier, he's adrenaline junkie. He loves just pushing his body himself to the limit. So it seems like if anybody tells him he can do something, can you do something? If there's a 1% chance, he's going to do it. So basically, I think he was supposed to jump on above that, across this canyon, very simply, maybe 1 or 2 things. And at the last minute, the kids are saying that was It's simple enough. So, they just want to change it again. If you can do that, can you do it blindfolded? Is it from that same kid again? Yeah, I'm afraid so. Okay, yeah. Tell him it's yes, and I'll do the others too. I haven't slept in over a month, but I need something to exercise my brain cells a little. Timeout, flag on the play, 10-yard penalty. You're agreeing to the changes in this thing, and then say, from the kid, yeah, no problem. I haven't slept in over a month, and I need something to exercise my brain cells. Edison, you're scaring me, guy. You're scaring me. Okay. You're a very wonderful individual. I'll come back to you on that one.
You can see. So when I saw that scene, when I'm reading it, the first thing that went to me is amp it up, Action Man. The Action Man
Good
cartoon,
cut.
3D by
Good
Mainframe
cut.
Studios. Yeah, Action Man. Amp it up, Action Man. Like, this guy is just pinging up all things for me. Once again, you're gonna watch Buckaroo Banzai. So he's doing all this. And prior to, so I see it now. So prior to going on and getting into this whole thing, he's one of the chess players. He's also building a missile because there's an asteroid heading to Earth. So now we see the inner workings of how he sees his mind working, and it's portrayed in such a way. So every time that he's in his head, and great job, for Mark writing the scene, and then for Raphael for putting it out there, like drawing it out there. So anytime you want to see what's happening inside of his mind, he sees himself as more than one person. So you'll see, for example, in this scene, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's got 10 of himself, each one doing a different task on trying to make this missile, all in his head, that's going to stop this asteroid from hitting and destroying the Earth. Like, this asteroid is like the dinosaurs will end kind of asteroid that's coming right directly to Earth, not skipping close by it. So he's their problem solver for the government. So he's one man, but in his mind, he's like, okay, I'm going to work on this. And he's not working on minor things. Each of those personas inside his mind are working on complex equations, scenarios, going back and forth, and they're talking to each other. So he's having a multi-level internal conversation with himself, getting on this motorcycle, about to do the whole Action Man crew Banzai in the middle of the desert, jumping this canyon on a motorcycle that's on fire into like a pool of water. Like, it's almost like a Bugs Bunny moment. It's like, when you see the characters go up and they fall down into that little bucket of water after this fall, and then he gets up and I'm good. Okay, what's going on? Oh, by the way, what I have going on today? And in there, the desert, he's got his private jet that he's walking to. So he gets out of his suit, his motorcycle suit. He puts on a business suit, 3-piece, and he's saying, hey, this is what's happening in the world. People are kind of randomly exploding. Something is going on. The government wants your help on this. And this is where they bring him into these affairs. And this is where he meets this other girl who's, saying, hey, I work for the CIA. I'll be your liaison with the CIA. I'm here to help you. We got to find this. It's a mystery. We got to find certain things, this temple and maybe what's leading to this cause. Maybe they don't mention the temple right away, but they, what's leading to the cause of what's happening across the world with people suddenly busting. We don't know what it is. It's not a weapon that any of us have made. Something is just a natural phenomenon, but there's got to be a reason behind it. And he was like, game's afoot.
Then to me, I just laugh at this part. This is like so 80s, 90s type of mystery type of scenario. Because he's a big boss man. He's basically saying, Miss Pennyworth, cancel all my meetings for the rest of the week. I'm like, that means, we're going in. It's about to go down.
It's about to go
down.
Like, literally, cancel my meetings for the rest of the week. Like,
the week.
This the greatest minds on earth can't figure this out for years. I just need a week. Like just like Rod said, right? And with Hannibal from the A team, you give me a couple of hours, okay. You give me a day, no problem. You give me a week, wow. He literally said, "Clear my calendar for the week. I'll be back."
100%. So,
Issue alone, that's issue one. Two
one.
words: Black excellence. If you want to know what Black excellence is, this is it. This is
Honestly,
Black excellence right here. This is showing how good. And I'm not saying it's one race over another race. As I said, it's all about inclusion. It's just
hmm
nice to see, you know, in the media. Let's be honest. Sometimes we're portrayed, Black people are portrayed as, oh, we'll do the drug dealer roles, the gangster roles with this and that. Okay. But on the other side of that, there's a lot of Black people out there that are CEOs, business owners, inventors, and that's what is in Black history. They're out there. It's just maybe not as well known. Okay, he is one of those that taking that to the nth degree and positive footprint going forward. And in the image, well, I would say image universe, the Mark Millar universe. Let's go Millar world. If we go Millar world universe,
right. Okay.
this is his character of color. He's done female characters. He's done other characters. The current Kick-Ass was not the original one. It was the mantle was picked up by a Black woman. Okay, but now this is his own. All right, Prodigy. Yeah, they said you got Batman. You might be able to plan your situations out to fight Superman. Prodigy would probably plan it out that he wouldn't even have to be at the fight to fight Superman. Superman would just show up in the alley and then what happened? Well, he's unconscious. Prodigy didn't even show up. He's halfway around the world solving another mystery. Yep. Like that's how scary it is. So that's issue number one. So we'll go through the rest really quick. So issue number two, it has you're seeing a car chase. She's explaining and I can't remember her name right now.
Rachel Starks. Rachel Starks.
Thank you very much. So Rachel Starks, that's in there. She says liaison for the CIA, and she's telling him, about her background, where she's coming from, the cases that she's worked on, how she got the information, what's going on, and how she escaped in a high-speed car chase. She's giving all this information while on the private plane, going forward. Now we finally, in issue number two, finally get a look at the protagonist, the villain of the story. Evil, pretty much. So all you have is this one big estate. You see this kid wake up inside of there. There's other kids there. They look up and they see this drawing on a wall, which is it looks humanoid with wings. It's got like a long nose, like a beak or whatever, and wings.
It's a goat head.
Yeah,
it's a goat head type of and the goat. That type of mix.
Yeah.
Head type of.
Right, goat head, exactly. Sitting there, legs crossed, arms on either side, and it's pushing two planets, it look like Earth, away from each other while it's sitting there in the middle. So the kid sees this, talks to the other kids, then some adults walk in there, and when the adults walk in, it's like, okay, guys, you got to go outside. Then you see a bunch of grown men outside having champagne, or as Zach Flanagan would call it, champagne from Futurama. Champagne. It's champagne. Oh gosh, I can't even say that right. Champagne. And the kids get up there, and this literally is, all right, start running, kids. What do you mean? Well, hunting.
Yeah.
Kids.
You can make it to the road, but give me a 10-minute start. If you can make it to the road, hey, you're free to go. The road is just up there. We apologize. Just go run. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
these men are there. They're talking about it. They bring out some dogs. They're ready to go hunting. They're in their hunting gear. You watch the typical, when you look at in UK how they dress to go fox hunting.
I'm about to say, yeah, fox and a hound type of thing. Yep,
exactly. So these kids are the foxes. They're dressed in that old school kind of gear, but with high powered guns. And then this one kid comes out, right, who's also like the same age, but he's well dressed. And you realize that he's the son of the main person leading this party. He comes out with a shotgun and he takes the first shot at one of these kids. That's some Nemesis evil right there. Like Nemesis started off as a kid. This kid started off, young, doing the hunt. And they're taking their time. And it's a father-son bonding moment. And he's got his So it's father, son, and granddad. They're all there together hunting these kids just randomly, just and I mean, okay, there's no mincing what happens to them. Let's
Mm-hmm.
just say none of them make it to the street.
Unfortunately, no.
None
Unfortunately,
make it to
no.
the street. No. Like when you see Pepe Le Pew chasing the cat, and you get the cat, and she's got the stripe on her back, and Looney Tunes, the cat's running all over the place, like frantic, and Pepe Le Pew's just kind of casually hopping, bing, bing, very calm. That's how it was. They're like, hey, yeah, we're good. There's no way we're gonna make it. We're not gonna run after him, son. Let's just walk and talk. How's your day? Pretty good, Dad. That's awesome. That's all right, son. You think you can get him from this level, from all the way back here? Dad, hold on. Okay, Dad. So, what are we doing later on tonight? What's for dinner? Kind of. I'm not saying that's the conversation they're having, but that's
I
the
know, yeah,
feel of that conversation.
I know, but still, it's just the calmness, just the calmness that they have about just continue their evening activities.
Yeah, like this is
Crazy.
so insane. So finally, Prodigy, Edson lands with Rachel. They start talking to the general here in Russia
Mm-hmm.
and breaking down this conversation, to find out more what's going on. He realizes something is being hidden. So we'll get past some of it, but something is being hidden. So he
Right.
knocks out the general. They get into the lower levels. I don't think it's a Kremlin, but one of these buildings that are heavily guarded.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And when he finally gets there, he realizes, oh, there seems to be a doorway, but it's bricked up. So he breaks down the doorway, gets in there, and finds out that it's a old library that's been bricked up.
Right.
And he starts going through it really quick, looking for certain texts, certain books, and then once again, internal conversation. And in this panel, you see in this internal conversation, you have Edson, how we're seeing him dressed. He puts himself in his mind, and you see four others dressed differently. So this now you can tell that these four who are dressed differently, they're all him in fine looking suits, having an internal discussion about what he's discovering, what he's seeing, what's
Mm-hmm.
happening, what's causing certain people to explode. And he's coming across he's putting clues together.
Right.
So what I know you had a thought there, Rod. What's your thought on that?
No. Yeah, he's putting stuff together. He's starting to realize that the old text that he's coming across is even older. It's referencing stuff that's older than what they have right now. So whatever he found was already an old text, old scrolls, secrets on scrolls type of scenario. He's now having an internal conversation. You know what this means, right? Yeah, it looks like this is basically like more than like say 2 centuries old. Exactly. So this is that. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna have to reverse engineer to find out how did this information arrive at that particular time and find where was it stored, where was it located then, and try to reverse engineer to where it was. He's having these very complex conversations in his mind as he's talking to Rachel in real time.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm just going through. I was just like, yeah, give me a minute. Let me just think of that. And she's still talking to him, having a normal conversation. What you find? Well, this is what I think I found, and da. Internally, he's already broken down to 5 of them. What do you say? What do you say? And having basically seemed like he's having like 6 conversations at once.
Yeah.
Come on.
Seamlessly.
Come on, son.
Power of the mind. Power of the mind. Like, this character is so cool, man. So that's what's going on. The villain now is kind of turning around and putting some his pieces together on some of the tech that he's found. Now it seems that, oh my gosh, the villain turned around. They're working on some bomb device that's gonna blow up, man. You see, it seems to be some alien technology there in the background. From the villain that has it. So let's jump ahead. We're gonna go through and jump ahead a couple of issues. Let's get let's get down to like the last issue, for example. You guys have to read this story, and I'm not trying to, the buildup is so cool. So let's go down. Well, second to last issue. We'll jump to issue 5. I'll talk a couple of points here. This is what's so good. So in issue 5, he's kind of put things together on what's happening. He's gone now, and it's like when I say he's gone to different parts of the world, they found this temple that was underwater. While underwater, he's trying to decode the symbol he's seeing there with the goat's head, the guy with the pushing the two planets aside and figuring it out. And he's putting, 1.1 is equal to 1.1 equal to 1.1, whatever. He's putting all that together because he operates on a different level than we are. And while that's happening, then some sharks show up. He's fighting off the sharks. Okay, fine. He gets taken. And he's running for his life, and he gets into a fight. He ends up getting shot. He gets transported over to the hospital. Looks at the doctor. He's bleeding to death. And right away, he calls somebody. No, he turns around and has another internal conversations while bleeding to death, saying, "Hey, I've been shot. I'm bleeding to death. Oh, I got to figure a way out of this." And while having the internal conversation, his inner self, turns around and says, "Hey, you're going to have to figure this one on your own. We're busy trying to figure out how to do with this asteroid that's getting closer and closer to Earth. By the way, don't die."
But actually, no, it's funny that he says that, but he's like saying, forget all that, all hands on deck. That part killed me because now he realizes, I know I'm thinking about all these other stuff because he said in an earlier, maybe like the second or third issue when he was talking to Rachel. So yeah, I think about that. I have different thoughts going on at the same time. Basically, in a very layman way of saying, I'm thinking all at once. He's now realizing, listen, I'm about to lose blood. I got shot. I still got to get some information because here's the scenario. So just to slightly change it, because I'm kind of like opening up the book at the same time. So the scenario is that after when he got shot, the one scenario was that he was again from Russia. We're jumping out. He's trying to decipher and realize that certain texts are going to be in this particular temple, and he realized that we need to get to this temple. And I want to say this. The reason why I want to break this down just slightly is that they're flying to the temple. I will admit right now, it's like in issue 4 or issue 3, and I'm not there right now. But basically, the temple is about to be bombed. It's been scheduled to be bombed by some corporation. Not corporation. Let's just say the United States, the U.S. is going to bomb a particular place. And he knows this. And he has to get inside because on the walls are scribed, or basically all the information they need to decipher the mystery is in that temple. What this guy does, he's driving. They're trying to drive to get away. And they get to the place, and they're realizing, I can't get there in time. Radio to someone and say, I'll give someone $2 million. How long will it take? It's a 3-hour drive. We have about, say, 27 minutes to get there. Sorry, 35 minutes to get there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hold on a second. Put out a call. One particular flyer, I guess, that they were just dealing with before. So right now I can't remember that particular aspect of it. But basically said, call somebody. I'll give them $2 million if they can come and pick us up while we're driving. Come in, doing the typical kind of 18 kind of thing, come with the ladder, picks them up, and they fly off. So now the clock is ticking. Someone's going to come and bomb the temple.
Yeah.
Basically, you seen the F-18s, whatever plane is right behind him, and realizing, oh my gosh, he let go the bomb. Edison was like, what? He grabbed the parachute? Out the girl's like, wait a minute, where did Edison go? Pilot said, he just jumped out after the bomb. Two-way, what the hell are you doing? I got to get to the bomb because I need to get into the temple. So I need to stop the bomb. So my man does the typical poop, poop, poop. Power dive, power dive, power dive, power dive. Come the close one. Whoop. Smart man. At some point, he had a magnet or something, so he'd be able to anchor himself to it. He's basically trying to break in. He breaks into it, and he's trying to say, what are you doing? I'm trying to defuse the bomb. Are you crazy? No.
In midair.
I know what I'm doing.
Action,
and if you
man.
stop yelling in my ear, I could do it 5 seconds earlier. Thank you. Click. All right. I disarmed it. Parachute lands in, gets down. He's now realizing the government sent a second plane. How far is the next plane? Oh, it's about maybe 5 minutes behind. Great. Sorry, 7 minutes behind. Great. I just need 5. I need you to do me a favor. This is how precise this guy is. This is why I'm saying this guy is very particular in everything. I need you to fly around, fly down here. When I say count 90 seconds, from that point, count 90 seconds, meet me at the top of the building. And I need you to fly, Rachel, because I don't trust this other guy. I need you to fly. And we got to be very precise because you're going to pick me up. What are you doing? I'm going to run through the building and memorize all the floors and all the scribes on the wall on my way to the top for you to pick me up. Okay, great. Hear what I just said. This guy has less than 5 minutes to get that information.
Full building.
There's a bomb 7 minutes behind him. He's giving himself at least a 2-minute buffer. But unfortunately, he's now being like Indiana Jones. He's like, shooting his way in. And now we're going to at least do a little superhero type of action. No, sorry, take out superhero. Insert action man. This guy's doing pure action man, right? Running in, and he's shooting, but you see panels showing his eyes looking, shooting everybody kind of scenario. And then Braps, he gets shot again. What happened? I got shot again. Now he goes to internal conversation with himself. Listen, we need critical meeting. All hands on deck. We need to figure a way to get out of this. We don't have time to waste. Are you kidding? Now the second part of talking. Are you kidding? Listen, we're trying to figure out how to deflect the asteroid. We don't got time for that. We got to get out of this building. If we all need to be alive. Okay. Flashback to internal to external. All you're seeing is Edison up telling the girl, okay, you know what? I need you now. Change of plan. Meet me on the east side of the window of the building. Because I'm hit. So I'm not going to make it upstairs fast enough. There's a window at the other end. Meet me there as I start counting now. Make sure you're on this particular angle. We only got one shot. Basically, jump through the window, and the man's doing action man. He's shot on this arm. Make sure he grabs the side with the wheel, at least the wheel rudder, in that sense, the landing gear. Grabs that, and he flies. I'm like, and as you see him flying off, where's the airplane? They just released the bomb. Kaboom! As Edison flies away.
Okay, let's pause here for half a second, right? That's the one thing. Black people, we got to be extra. We always got to be extra. We got to be doing things over the top. We can't walk into a room. We can't walk out of a room. It's always got to be an event. When you see a brother walking in or walking out, it's always got to be an event. Every group of friends have that one friend that's got to turn every situation into an event. They're eating, it's an event. They're going, it's an event. They're coming home, it's an event. What you do coming home from work, it's an event. It's so over the top that you can open your watch and count on your watch. It's like, oh, so-and-so's coming over. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's happening? It's like, oh, geez. Why? And it's like, why you dressed that way? Why are you wearing that? What are you doing? It's an event. Okay. We always got to be, as the saying goes, extra. Why we got to be extra? I don't know, but it makes it entertaining for the person and those around. Not much I do know.
Hilarious.
He's extra. He could have done this 20 different ways, but no, action man Edison Crane had to get in there and do it extra. Okay. Good on you, Mark, for writing that pizzazz, over the topness. If you don't believe me, look at our sports athletes, right? When they walk into an event, Armani suits, and then you got someone that will show up in whatever jogging suit with like he's a rap star. Rappers, they got more gold and metal in them than Wolverine has metal bones. Okay, you understand that? Same. Extra. Okay, the tattoo extra. We got to make things stylish. It's always an event. All right, so that's the story in hand. So he goes through all that, all hands on deck, meaning he stopped multitasking, figure out his situation, gets there, he's at the hospital, he's got to do an operation. They're going to put him under. He's like, nope, don't put me under. And the doctor's about to operate, and he goes, "Wait a minute, you're 24 years old. This scalpel is probably older than you. You know what? Give me the scalpel. I'll do the operation myself." And then he
Give me
passed
three
out.
mirrors. Give me 3 mirrors. And I'll do it myself. Hilarious.
Right. And he was going to take out the bullet out of his shoulder, and then he passed out. And next thing you know, he wakes up, sees the same doctor. Doctor looks at him and is like, "Well, by the way, I'm not 24, I'm 25. Edison comes back. It's like, "No, from how you're standing, how you're talking, your demeanor, and everything like that, I determine you're going to be only turning 25 next week. Technically, you're still 24." Boom.
Gangster.
And he was right.
Dang it.
The doctor turned around and goes, "Well, you're not the only smart person around, Mr. Crane. There's other people that are smart too." And he goes, "Okay, how long was I out for?" 48 hours. Eureka, I've got it. Now, going back to your point, Rod, remember, he hasn't slept in a month. So that 48 hours that he was unconscious was the first time that his body is shut down. His mind is shut down in 48 hours. He hasn't slept, which means what happens when you wake up after sleeping, your mind is sharp. For the rest of us normal people, your mind is sharp.
Yeah, no, I'm
energized.
Absolutely.
So keep in mind, he is now, when he woke up out of the hospital, it was, oh.
Right. Because it showed panel within it, they showed while he was unconscious, under, recovering, he was getting blipped images of all the information that he had. Now, he didn't have no image of his internal selves. He actually only seemed to have been, to me, that was like to be the only time he was actually
focused,
regular human, where he had picture thoughts of the goat and the two circles. I mean, the two worlds. He saw just an imprint of the temple and one quick thing. It just seemed like it was just quick flashes, stuff that us normal people, let's just say me, if I'm having any type of memory relapse or memory kind of cascading, it's just little pictures. To me, that was like the only time he was actually human. Not human, but he was actually normal. That was the only time. And then when he woke up,
he was focused, because that's the first time that he didn't have his focus split on multiple different things. He was just thinking about one thing.
100%.
What was the most current thing? And he wakes up and it's like, and he gets it. And then, the rough breakdown of that last issue was pretty much he figured everything out. He gets there. He goes to confront the main villain, this guy, skinny guy. And then you find out that Rachel is actually his sister.
Right.
He finds out they're working for a secret cabal, secret organization, secret society. Yep. There we go. And they break down saying, "Hey, what you've been doing is we were the guardians of these plans. So the Tower of Babel was supposed to be a gateway to another dimension, another Earth. This is why it was drawn, that picture with the goat head guy and two Earths. So it was a picture of another Earth, and the other Earth decimated and all the resources. So they made a teleportation device to send the armies through, because they found out there's another Earth to take over this Earth and use their resources. When one person came through, which was the son of the king from that other planet, his name was Nimrod. He got here, crash landed, but when he came through, he didn't come through on parallel time. He went through time and space. He ended up in the past. So he became a king. He started building these things to build the Tower of Babel, but he didn't have the resources to finish it. So he made the plans and he entrusted those to his descendants, and they formed that society to keep it going. So one day when the technology was up to par,
up to speed,
they can finally finish Nimrod's plans to bring over his dad, who was the king, with the invading armies.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, Edison's got his hands behind his back. He realizes it's like, okay, so you guys are brother and sister. And it's like, I knew she was lying. It's like, how'd you know? And it's like, well, she says she didn't speak this particular language, but all CIA agents to know that language.
Correct.
So if she's lying about that, very simple. She lied about everything. How'd she fool me for so long? And then the sister says, Rachel, well, you're not the only genius around. I went and made myself a 3-dimensional character. I gave my character a backstory. I made her lactose intolerant. I gave her a best friend I spoke to every day. I made myself, as I said, left-handed to do all these things. So it wasn't like you were telling me on paper I had to memorize it. I lived that way for years in preparation to meet you. So this way you wouldn't realize that I was lying. So my only thing that threw it off is because I said I don't speak that language. Right. Edison's like, okay, cool. So by the way, that's what happened is that when you guys are activating that teleportation thing, this is what's causing people to randomly explode. And ties with that, long story short. And he turns around, and he's still smiling. He's like, oh, well, why are you smiling about it? She goes, well, he's like, hey, before you go anywhere, Rachel, can you just stand right there and not move for me for like the next 2 seconds? She's like, what do you mean? What's it supposed to? Boom. And she explodes because they activated the teleportation device. It opened the doorway to the other Earth, and one of the spaceships came through and crashed right on top of Rachel and stopped like 2 feet in front of Edison.
Yep.
So now her brother, who was the main villain in this, starts freaking out. What do? You kill my sister? Oh my God, you figured it out. He's like, well, why are you laughing? You can't go anywhere. You're still handcuffed. And he brings his hands up. He's like, am I? Soldiers run in. Edison grabs the leader, puts a gun to his head, walks into the ship, and he's like, well, where do you think you're going? You're surrounded by all my soldiers. There's no way out for you. He looks at the pilot. He goes, put up the force field. What? Just do it. All right, puts up the force field on the ship. He goes, okay, drop the bomb. Now keep in mind, they're in an enclosed area inside of like their base, right? The enemy's base. Drop the bomb. What? Drop the bomb. Click. Oh, he sees 3 soldiers. Hey, wait a minute. Isn't that bomb supposed to atomize everyone within an X amount of radius? Yep. Boom. Boom. So he destroyed the guy's base, the teleportation device, and everyone else. So the only people alive is Edison, the pilot, and the leader.
What's the leader's name? The brother. The brother's name?
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds. I will catch that for you.
Right.
So his name. There it is. Come on, no. Because the funny thing is, the name was one of those puzzles type of names. If you say the name spelled a different way, it would be like his name was Charles Task.
Charles Task. Okay.
Yes.
So Edison's got Charles. Charles is there. So now it's just Edison, Charles, and the pilot shoots the pilot, and then it's Edison and Charles. He's like, well, you know what? Doesn't matter. The rest of the rest of the army's around. They'll still get here. Edison's like, no. What happened is, let's go back for half a second. So what Edison did is that he realized he was looking for all these plans to reverse engineer the teleportation device. Once he realized that was going on, his sister was lying, he changed some of the parameters. He changed the coordinates. So for the army that was coming through the teleportation device, could he stop them? No. So he gave them new coordinates, which was the middle of the sun.
Burn, Hollywood, burn. I see a riot going on.
First the guilty, now they're gone. Look at me. Love that song. So it sends the army to the middle of the sun, right? Okay, so it takes care of that. 2, he's like, by the way, thanks for giving me a way to get rid of my asteroid problem. I used your same teleporter to teleport the asteroid to the other Earth to wreck it. Boom, done. Second problem gone. He goes, this is why this particular ship showed up, because I gave the coordinates for it to show up, and that's why it hit your sister, because she was standing right where I needed her to be. And then, of course, you had your own army that could have taken me out, but guess what? I took you prisoner, brought you inside the ship, turned on the force field. We dropped the bomb. Dropped the bomb on me.
Yeah.
Baby. Oh, I love the Gap Band. Great. Drop the bomb. Boom. That was it. That's it. So, Charles is like, well, what are you going to do? You can't do anything. And then, of course, Edison decides to say, well, unlike Batman, Edison shot Charles right in the head. Yeah. Threat exterminated.
Oh, sorry. Let me stand back. I just realized who that guy was. I was looking. Her name is Rachel Stash, or Stark, which is the acronym for the word Charles Task.
Okay.
Which was basically the connection that the guy that it was, the brother was Tinker, the guy that he fought when
he was in school.
From school. So from the beginning of the issue, the guy that he put the roundhouse in that bullied him, so he took out his bully. that
Literally.
was it.
So that's funny.
Literally.
Yes,
Sorry.
yes, I forgot about that. So you got, the brother and sister, and they were the descendants of Nimrod, which was obviously they were related to the humans on the other Earth. And he just wrecked shop.
Lost it.
Wow. What an issue. Like, Mark, I don't know how you put that one together, right?
100%.
But wow.
And I like,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, how you pulled that out, great. The art was great, the writing was great. I don't know how you even thought that one all up, but good on you. So
100%.
yeah, I'd love to hear what
100%.
his thoughts are. But sorry, what are you gonna say, Rod?
I just wanted to say the last part, close to the end of the panel, basically, I just want to put these two little parts back in here.
Yeah.
That you see now, to say like a week later, when everything was all done, you see Edison basically coming out of a helicopter, basically about to perform another stunt. But prior to that, as he came out, he was talking to his assistant. Hey, you look good. You're in charge of. He gave her some position, so she's in charge of a portion of his his corporation and all that kind of stuff. And he said, "Oh yeah, okay, I've answered this, I've answered that. I found the cure for this, cure for that. Oh yeah, can we get back to that guy I paused with the chessmate? Tell him in two moves, checkmate." And then you see a panel of the guy like saying, "What the?" Realizing Edison just gave you a week just to make you feel good, but he took care of you as well. So 7 of 7, you're all done.
No loose ends.
That's the part I want to get. No loose ends. He came back.
No loose ends. No loose ends.
Solve every mystery.
Beat that, Scooby-Doo. All right, here we go. So that's my whole rundown on this. Obviously, we liked it. Man, it was so much fun to reread this again. I love it. Yeah. So we're gonna get down to the famous point, right? Time to fan cast this character. Now we know that Mark has a deal with Netflix to bring a lot of these properties to life. This is one of them. They're supposed to be doing a movie. The movie will be based loosely on the second miniseries with Prodigy, the Icarus story, right? So it's gonna be based on that storyline, Icarus City. So there we go. But that's what we'll say on that one, And I said you got to read Big Game where it brings everyone together. If you're a fan of Mark Millar and his writing and his books, trust me, you will not be disappointed. And seeing all these characters, keep in mind, he's bringing back Wesley from Wanted, who we haven't seen in 15 years. So we see now what's happened to him, where he's at, and how he plays a big part in this too. Okay, so Rod, let me go with you, man. If you had to turn around and adapt this, I know how Mark is adapting, and we know it's a movie. Right? I don't know if it's live or a cartoon or anything like that, but how would you want to adapt this property?
I would honestly, I've been on the fence trying to figure, do I want this as animated or do I want it live? But I believe that I actually want it live. Now, here's the reason why. That the amount of feats and stuff that he's doing is nothing very superhuman in the sense that require any extra CGI or anything like that. So everything is basically, he's given the performance of Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. That type of vibe. So if Tom can do it, and even at the age of Tom is still doing it, salute. I think we can get a live action and we can get that going. And I like the aspect of, representation, having that context type of feel of you're seeing it. It's not a secondary thought like, hey, we know this is a movie, we know this is a script, this is a story, but actually instead of having it like cartoon or animated, I would like to see it from real life, giving that nice texture and that context to make anybody watching that have the feeling how everybody felt when they watched Black Panther for the first time, when they watched Wakanda Forever for the first time. You get that context like, we know this is fictional, but it is so, like, it's on the realm of possibility. Like, yeah, I can, so close. We're like 1% away of seeing like 99, yes. Woo! Only because I know it's written. But is there really not a Wakanda out there? And that's what I want. So I want to have that context. So I want live. I would definitely, well, you know what? If Mark is going with Netflix, let's, who am I to argue against Mark Millar? Who am I to argue with that? But I like the aspect, and I would say give it give it a Netflix series kind of, or at least like a, it's 5 episodes. I mean, there's 5 issues or 6 issues for the Icarus one. I would just keep it along that line. Try to build on that and have like basically issue 1, 2, 3 kind of scenario, and just call that storyline that. So if they did this first series, this first volume, let that be like a season 1. Icarus is season 2. Big Game is season 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
You understand? And then each episode is basically a separate episode and a separate show in that regard. Now, all that to say, who would I like to have as my leading guy? Now, I was thinking one particular person, and then I kind of stepped back, and then I thought of someone else. And I would actually like, and I know it may sound like it's not cliche, but you're giving someone who has the chops, but this person does have the chops. I would like Michael B. Jordan. Now, here's the reason why. I would like Michael B. Jordan because of the different factors that he does already have underneath his belt. Now, yes, he has the straight, solid, straight face of doing, being that strong will and confidence Killmonger from, Black Panther. But I definitely I know he has the ability of having the inner, showing that he can be a person who can rise above situation and don't let anything hold him down. I'm going from him when he was in Creed, Adonis Creed.
Okay. Yeah.
And I want to also say that there was not a small, but it's a movie that he was part of. He only showed a small part later on, but it showed at least his skills of being a person who can wield a gun, who can, act a soldier in that regard. Now, we already know that from Killmonger, but also from Kin. If you ever had a chance to watch the movie Kin, he was basically an individual who basically from a parallel universe in that sense, and had to come back and to find a Kin, a young person who has particular special abilities, and be able to bring him to his parallel, to his universe, to his dimension. But those are the small little parts that I wanted to pull back from and just say that, you know what? I need someone who has the ability to look the part of being confident, 100% confidence, who just basically walk into the room and make the room look at him no matter what. He didn't say anything as yet, but he has that kind of confidence. You can walk into a room and people realize that I don't know who he is, but he must be someone important because I can't talk to you. I got to find out who that person is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And have the confidence to like saying, I can do any of the tasks that needs to be done. And I personally would like to see, in a sense, like a multi-universe sense of multiple Michael B. Jordans having serious conversation among themselves at a table trying to figure, so what do you say about that? I believe, and then basically seeing like multiple of them having a conversation, and then especially at the part where all hands on deck. Listen, we're trying to figure out how to deflect or figure out this mystery about this asteroid. You want me to do what? It's just that part. I would die with that. Exactly. I was shot. But he's not. Because they're thinking all this stuff. He has his brain already working. That was a beautiful. That's another beautiful part about that. I'll even just jump back to that. That particular scene, you see in a sense, the current Edison being shot. Yeah. Then you see the ones who are working, his brain cells working, they're not shot. They're already been working, like they hadn't even time to register that we've been shot.
He keeps it all separate, man. He's
separate. I want Michael B. Jordan to handle that. I think you'd be able to handle that. That would be a great way of just giving Michael the opportunity to show these different characters separately and all at the same time. And you realize it's different personalities happening at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can do that.
I got you. I like that. I like that casting because I see where you're going from and how you're putting that together. So I commend you on that, sir. Salute. Very well done, guys. Very well done.
Now,
No problem. So here's a point. So you know what? He's got the Netflix deal, so I'm with you on Netflix. So let's go with Netflix. And Netflix has got some cool bucks depending on who's behind it. So Mark Millar right now,
Mhm.
because of that, he's got that credibility that they're going to give him a bigger budget than if it was an unknown, right? Which is great. So
Mhm.
that adds to the whole feature. For the stunts and the things that are happening, action sequences, I don't think it'd be that costly as opposed to some other movies. You know, the full sci-fi movie where the budget's gonna be like huge. So
Right.
right, give me this first six series as a one movie, right? I don't know if people would get into it more as a series or not, but as a one movie to bring in this character and seeing that Mark has always presented his stuff as movies and not so much episodes. It
Mhm.
seems to be more his genre, right? So you can maybe
Okay.
take some stuff out and dance it. So I would say it's not gonna be an hour and a half movie. No, no. It can't be an hour and a half movie if you want to keep it as true to it as possible. Give me a good 2 hour movie. Give me, you
Okay.
know, a good 2 hours, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less runtime, and you're not gonna have filler. It's gonna be intrigue, action, suspense, something there for everyone. Okay.
Mhm.
Live action for sure. And I'm going to go with the actor Keith Powers. Now, I know you're going to say, who the heck is Keith Powers? And if anyone has got BET and is a New Edition fan, you know who Keith Powers is. Keith Powers played Ronnie DeVoe in the New Edition story on BET,
Okay.
right? He's got the height, he's
Okay.
got the smile, he's got a similar
Mhm.
hairstyle to um, Edison already. Give him some
Okay.
green contacts. Even his build, because Edison's not overly a bulky build guy, right? He's in
That's right.
shape, right? So he's like a track runner, very slim, in shape, good to go. So with currently, if you watch the New Edition on BET story, you see that Edison playing Ronnie is like Ronnie. Ronnie DeVoe is taller than the rest of the group. He, with his castmates, is taller out of the rest of the group. That physique already, he's got the style. He's also a model. So he's gonna look good in a suit. He's got the smile. He's got the charm with him. Now you give him like any actor, you put him through some basic training. If he takes it seriously enough, this could put him in a different role. He's already done a drama role where he had to work and do flashback scenes already, be it if it was
Mhm.
himself or they got another actor who was younger to physically portray him when it was Ronnie DeVoe when he was younger. He did the more adult part of Ronnie DeVoe's story with, you know,
Right.
when he was New Edition, when it was Belle Biv DeVoe. So he's used to that type of shooting. I know he can definitely do it because for the movie, he had to learn to sing. He had to learn to dance. Well, I mean, not learn. He probably knew those already to the fundamentals, but he had to
Mhm.
sing. And if you watch when they did the New Edition, you know, anniversary after
Right.
the movies came out with the New Edition and Bobby Brown stories on BET, and they went on the you know the Soul it was the Soul Train Awards
That's
or
Soul Train. Or
yeah, I think
BET
it's
or
Soul
Soul
Train.
Train. Which one?
Right. Which
One of
one?
those two.
Soul
One
Train
of those
or
two.
was
Or BET. Soul Train or BET.
right,
One of
right,
those
but
two.
it was the BET
It was the BET
Music
one then.
Awards,
Okay.
right? They did a
Yeah.
whole thing with New Edition. They came out all in the white suits, all six members. And when they came out to do this one performance, they brought out all the kids who played them younger and they stood in front of each person and they brought the other group who came out that played them as adults
Right.
and they and performed, sang and danced performing live. So you had, for example, Ralph Transat, and Ralph was with his younger self and
Yep.
the actor that played his adult self. And every
Yep.
move that Ralph did, they did. They all
Yep.
had microphones. They all had to sing in unison. So whoever was covered. So when Ronnie DeVoe was doing, you know, his whole thing, this
Mhm.
actor Keith Powers was on stage with the person who played the younger version of Ronnie DeVoe and had to hit move for move, note for note, rap for rap, line for line. That
Yep.
shows me this actor's dedication to the craft. Now, give him an action role. Let's see what happens. So he might be unknown to maybe the general public, but
Mhm.
you give him this role, it's going to be like James McAvoy for the general us. I mean, he was known where he was in Scotland, but then, you know, is it James McAvoy? No, I'm messing it up. Not James McAvoy, the other actor to play Eggsy. Sorry, my apologies. James McAvoy
Oh, you
was
thought,
Split and
okay.
everything.
Right.
Right. But
Yeah.
the actor who
Split.
played Eggsy in Kingsman, he was a
Mhm.
general unknown to the bulk of us here in North America. And that movie showed him, you know, as an action star. He can parkour, he can shoot, he can fight. And of course, his camera angles, but he did it really well. Keith
Mhm.
Powers is my Prodigy in this IP, and that's how I see
Okay.
it. If he puts that same kind of dedication to learning some fight sequences, weapons handling, all other stunts are gonna be done by stuntmen, right? Which hopefully stuntmen like doing some of these crazy things, so it's gonna look good. There we go. Black excellence done right. Boom. Thank you very much, Mark Millar. That's my pick.
All right, Keith Powers. All right, I can see where you're going. I see where you're going.
Mhm.
Definitely, he definitely has that look that could definitely bring it out. So, no, I see what you're going. Okay, that sounds good. All right.
Yep. Let him play the trillionaire. Let him play that, and he's got the range. So I think it'd come in handy. So hold on. Well, before we wrap up, Rod, any last words?
You know what? Listen, this character is nice. As you can hear, he has that. He's an intellectual type of individual that you don't see it out often, and
No.
basically he just gives you the different viewpoint of someone who's using his mind for the better good, and that he actually using his mind to get ahead, outsmart the enemy, and still be, cool and collective and not stressing out. And that's a lot of pressure that's happening at the same time. And he's on the nose. So yeah, I like that character because of that.
Excellent. I'll say this. First and foremost, we told you there's 3 comic book stores. You can check it out. So please go and check out a comic book store, pick up the Prodigy trade paperback, and they pick, I think it's all 6 issues are in one, or buy the back issue. Support the local comic book stores. There's 4. You support Mark Millar and Raphael, with their work that they've done on this, and then jump on board. You will definitely be, you'll enjoy the ride. If you want a good book that's influential for Black History Month, and you want to give it out maybe to someone young, if you have a young person in your life, you want them to read something that you're going to say, okay, this is kind of cool, give it to them. It's kind of the Indiana Jones whatever experience. Then keep in mind, Buckaroo Banzai. Go back, rent it, find it, download it. Not download it legally. I'm talking like a legal download, right? Like stream it, paid for it, and download it. So you always have in your stream, right? Go and get the movie. Rod's gonna be like, and have the movie. Sit down and watch with the family. It's part of it gonna be cheeser, sure. But the guy who played Buckaroo Banzai was a guy who played RoboCop. Okay, Peter Weller. Can't go wrong. Sit down, get the popcorn, break it out. On this has been the iConis podcast. The icon, as I said, is Prodigy. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, this whole world was started with a pencil, a piece of paper, and lots of imagination. Keep on dreaming. All right. Well, on that now, I gotta multitask myself into making a hot dog, French fries, a hamburger, and a milkshake. Because we split that.
Just say it within yourself and make a call. Say it within yourself and make a call. Someone else.
True that.
There you go.
All right.
Too much work.
Later.